Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Sophie Cunningham quietly building an empire. Wait, back. We're gonna have to edit that. There's nothing quiet about Sophie Cunningham in any way, shape, or form. And yes, we're also going to get into Billy Bob Thornton. What do they have to do with one another? We will get to that in a minute. Sophie Cunningham signs with 3 Arts Sports for representation. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out, of course, to the 19. Let's dig into this. Now, as y'all know, the Hatelens, the Slows, they of course also very much hate Sophie Cunningham, even maybe more than Caitlin Clark in some ways, because while I've never personally heard her speak about politics, it is apparently out there that she is, I don't know, what a Republican, right wing, conservative, Trump supporter, whatever you want to call it. And that, of course, is going to get a lot of hate from the old guard WNBA, separate from everything else we talk about with Caitlin Clark. But one of the things they like to do, and they like to bash Sophie Cunningham with, is how she's, I guess, fake, and she's out there building her brand off of the back of Caitlin Clark. And I am here to tell you, good for her. That's awesome. Like, how is that a problem in any way, shape, or form? It is smart, because how can you complain with the way she's doing it? Now, look, from everything any of us see from the outside, right? Her and Caitlin Clark are actually have become good friends. Okay. But here's the thing, even if they weren't, Sophie Cunningham would be leveraging Caitlin Clark for her own brand and for her own career success on and off the court by simply supporting a teammate, right? She's currently a teammate, and just saying nice things and being truthful and honest about what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA and what Caitlin Clark has done for Sophie Cunningham and other players. And it seems like no one else seems to understand this. That if And again, because I know you get the people that are screech about this. I'm not saying all the players have to be out there praising Caitlin Clark all the time with everything she does. Not at all. I mean, you can just not even talk about her unless you're asked the question. But if you're asked the question, keep it simple. Hey, yeah, Caitlin's brought new eyes to the game. It's fantastic, because not only is Caitlin Clark getting opportunities, but her bringing new eyes to the league gives me opportunities. It gives me a chance to showcase my game in front of a lot of people who have never seen me play. It gets me a chance to expand my opportunities in terms of endorsements and so on and so forth, because all of these people who are now getting to see me play and see who I am as a human being, and that is going to give me opportunities. And so Sophie Cunningham has just simply flat out gone all in on that to expand her own personal brand, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's like, let's go back, since we're going to be talking about Billy Bob Thornton in a moment. I'm going to tie it to the WNBA. Let's go back to Hollywood thing as an example, right? If you have co-stars who absolutely hate one another, and that you've got a movie coming out, 100% they should be out there speaking nicely about each other. And I know some will say, oh, well, that's kind of fake. In this respect, that's marketing, right? It is bad marketing for employees, basically, temporarily, in this case with Hollywood, for a movie, go out there and bad mouthing at each other and trashing each other. We can save that later on for the documentaries and the gossip sites and all of that. But when the movie's going to be coming out, to do that is ridiculous. But that is kind of what WNBA players do all the time. So let's just go into this briefly, just give you an idea, and then I'm going to tie all that into something Billy Bob Thornton said, which I think is a great lesson for these players, a lesson that Sophie Cunningham has understood. So, few regards, Sophie Cunningham has hired 3 Arts for representation off the court. The WNBA star will continue to be represented by her current agent, Perry Rogers, the founder and CEO of sports management and corporate consulting company PRP. Though 3 Arts didn't specify if a specific agent will be working with Cunningham, it's another step in the right direction for 3 Arts' nascent sports division. Yeah, so 3 Arts, it's kind of interesting for Sophie Cunningham, because 3 Arts is film, Hollywood, entertainment, that sort of thing, and they're trying to get into sports. And Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark. There you go. Right. She's on all our brains all the time. Sophie Cunningham is signing for them probably to expand beyond sports. They launched their sports division only, let's say, here less than 8 months ago because they bought a sports and entertainment management firm, right? So now they've got guys like Travis Kelce, Kuminga for the Warriors. Maybe the biggest name they have is they've added Brown's defensive end, Miles Garrett. Uh, so they don't, right, like it says here, they don't have any league certified agents, so that may happen. But I'm guessing for Sophie Cunningham, especially in retaining her current agent, this is more about the film and TV stuff, which, man, I can't blame her. She has charisma, right? She has that stage presence that we'll call it. She's very likable. Can she act? Well, that part I don't know. But hey, man, starting now and getting guest spots here and there, where maybe she even has a word or a line or whatever. Things happen, right? So, as it says here, she's been growing her profile off the court in recent months after signing a deal with Colin Cowherd's media company. The volume, yeah, that I didn't like. I'm just saying, I'm not a Colin fan. He irks me, but he irks me more for my sports channel. The Philly focused sports channel where I talk football and stuff like that. Anyway, but uh, Sophie's now one of the most popular and perhaps marketable key WNBA players at 1.7 million followers on TikTok and 1.3 million on Instagram. Brand deals with Adidas, Arby's, Sun Cruiser, and Home Security Ring. Now, what does all this have to do with Billy Bob Thornton? I'll tell you, because Billy Bob Thornton, because Sophie Cunningham has fully embraced what we're going to hear Billy Bob Thornton say in this moment. So let's take a listen. This is only about 30 seconds long, and he's talking about fans. Now, he's talking about from a Hollywood perspective as an actor, but I think this is 100% also for famous athletes as well.
When they say, why do you take pictures with everybody and stand there and talk to a woman whose son's in dental school for a half an hour? Here's the reason, because they put my kids through school. And so you owe it to them. You really do. And anybody who doesn't come out of their trailer, because they're upset about, I don't want to say that line or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or if they ignore the fans and walk past them like they mean nothing, I think that's a bad thing for our business. And so I make sure that I do that. I'm not bragging on myself. I'm just saying I think I owe that. When they
Nailed it. Now, look, I'm going to put this caveat out there. Are there crazy people or fans out there who are way too demanding and, interrupting private dinners that people might be having with family and they get obnoxious? 100%. But most aren't like that. And Billy Bob Thornton makes this 100% clear how you should act. And let's face it, this is the problem with the WNBA fans. I could go into detail about things individual players have said and this and that, but let's just go big picture because you all have understood this. You've been through it because they continue to do it. As we hopefully head into year 3 of Caitlin Clark's career in the WNBA, we still get all the nonsense of the players hating on Caitlin Clark's fans when that is the fan base of the league. All those things they want, like Billy Bob Thornton talks about, put my kid through school. All the stuff they want from the CBA, it is all possible because of Caitlin Clark's fan base. And yet the league, the players repeatedly attack it, right? Alyssa Thomas lying about the slurs, Brittany Griner lying about slurs at games, Angel Reese lying about slurs at games, and on and on. Dejanay Carrington lying about slurs, and on and on and on and on. It's insane. And this is so simple. And this is why I tied this in also with Sophie, because this is what Sophie Cunningham has realized again when she was in Phoenix, right? She right away said, "Hey, this is Caitlin Clark's great for the game." And think about it, Sophie Cunningham already in her own little way, in her own little niche before the WNBA blew up with Caitlin Clark. She was someone you could look at her and you could look at her opportunities, and Sophie Cunningham could have easily gone the other way and taken it about, being super jealous of Caitlin Clark and started bashing her and all that, because you could look at the opportunity that she gets, right? Caitlin Clark has that charisma. Sophie Cunningham's got charisma. They're both attractive women, right? They're both well spoken. Sophie could easily say, Caitlin's taken what I should have been getting all these years. right? She could have easily gone that way, but she did not. She went and she fully embraced it. And I promise you, all you players, if you're paying attention, and you should be, you can do it too. It's really simple. And I'll leave it with this because I think it's important and it's something I know. This has been for, I mean, it's not 100%. Nothing ever is. People, we're all flawed, but in general, this has been the way women's soccer players have handled it. Women's soccer players have been fantastic 99% of the time in how they handle things in the media. They've been fantastic with their fans. I look at players like Trinity Rodman, Kelly O'Hara. I could go on and on and on. Alex Morgan, the way they talk about the game, the way they talk about the fans, how they interact with the fans after games. They truly 100% appreciate that everything they've gotten. Yeah, they had to put in the hard work and the sacrifice, and I get all that, but they wouldn't have it on the stage that they have, and they wouldn't have the opportunities that they have if it weren't for fans that support them. I've seen it in attending national women's national team practice, okay, where after a hard practice, the players came back out and they interacted with the fans that, I think there were probably maybe like 500 of us, and they came out and they interacted and they signed autographs and they took pictures and all of that. And so, yeah, man, I just thought this was a really important thing to share, and another thing to talk about with the players and the mindset focus, the shift that they need to have in order to continue to grow the league for them to get what they say they deserve. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking it out. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. I will talk to you later.